What are your Miranda rights? And when do they really apply? Most people don't know the truth about their rights when police question them. Could saying the wrong thing cost you your freedom? Don't get caught unprepared. Watch carefully to learn exactly when to stay silent, when to ask for a lawyer, and protect yourself from making a fatal mistake. What are Miranda rights? Miranda rights are a set of legal rights that police must tell you before questioning you while you are in custody. These rights protect you from saying something that could be used against you in court. The main rights include your right to remain silent and your right to have an attorney present during questioning. According to attorney Frank C. Walker, Miranda rights must be read to you only when you are in police custody and the police want to ask you questions about a crime. This is called a custodial interrogation. If you are not in custody, or if the police aren't questioning you, they don't have to read you these rights. The purpose of Miranda rights is to make sure you understand that anything you say can be used against you and that you have the right to legal help. If police don't inform you of these rights before questioning, anything you say may not be used in court. Always remember, if you are arrested or taken into custody, you have the right to remain silent and ask for an attorney to protect yourself. When are they required? Miranda rights are required to be read to you only when two main conditions are met. You must be in police custody, and the police must be about to question you regarding a crime. This is called a custodial interrogation. According to attorney Frank C. Walker, if you are free to leave or not being questioned, the police do not have to read you your Miranda rights. Being in custody means that you are not free to leave. For example, when you are handcuffed in the back of a police car or taken to the police station. If the police want to question you during this time, they must read your rights before asking any questions. If the police fail to read your Miranda rights before questioning you while you are in custody, any statement you make may not be allowed as evidence in court. However, if you are simply being detained or stopped, but not formally in custody, the police are not required to give the Miranda warning. This rule protects your right against self-incrimination, so you don't accidentally say something can be used against you without knowing your rights. Right to remain silent. One of the most important parts of your Miranda rights is your right to remain silent. This means you do not have to answer any questions or say anything that might make you look guilty. Attorney Frank C. Walker explains that you have this right to protect yourself from accidentally giving evidence that the police could use against you. When you are arrested or in custody, the police may try to pressure you to talk, but you should calmly say that you choose to remain silent. This is your legal right, and using it can prevent you from unintentionally admitting to something or providing information that could harm your defense. Many people make the mistake of talking to the police right away because they think it will help them. However, the book warns that this often leads to self-incrimination. The police are trained to ask questions in ways that might confuse or trick you, so staying silent until you have a lawyer is the safest option. Remember, anything you say after your Miranda rights are read can be used as evidence, so it's always better to wait and speak only with your attorney present. Right to an attorney. Another critical part of your Miranda rights is your right to have an attorney present during police questioning. Attorney Frank C. Walker emphasizes that if you ask for a lawyer, the police must stop questioning you until your attorney arrives. Having a lawyer means you have someone who understands the law and can protect your rights. Your attorney will advise you on what to say and what not to say, helping to prevent mistakes that could harm your case. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you, so you will never be without legal help. It's important to clearly tell the police that you want to speak to an attorney before answering any questions. Many people don't realize how powerful this right is. Once you ask for a lawyer, police questioning must stop, and they cannot pressure you to talk. This protects you from being forced into making statements that could be used against you in court. Always remember, asking for an attorney is your right, and it is the best way to protect yourself during any criminal investigation. When not read to you, Miranda rights are not always read to you. Attorney Frank Walker explains that the police are only required to give these warnings when you are both in custody and about to be questioned about a crime. If you are free to leave or not being questioned, they do not have to read your rights. For example, if the police stop you briefly for a traffic violation or ask a few questions, but you are free to walk away, the Miranda warning does not apply. Similarly, if you are in custody, but the police do not ask you any questions about a crime, they do not have to read you your rights. Some people mistakenly believe that police must always read Miranda rights when they are arrested. This is not true. The warning is specific to custodial interrogation. If the police question you outside of this, statements you make may still be used against you. Knowing when Miranda rights apply can help you understand your rights better. If you are unsure whether your rights were properly read, always ask for a lawyer before answering any questions. Custodial interrogation explained. Custodial interrogation is when the police question you while you are in custody, meaning you are not free to leave. Attorney Frank C. Walker explains that this is the key situation when Miranda rights must be read to you. The goal of custodial interrogation is to get information or a confession about a crime. Being in custody does not always mean you have been formally arrested. It means the police have restricted your freedom to leave, such as handcuffing you or taking you to the police station. During this time, police may ask you questions, but they must first inform you of your Miranda rights. If police fail to give the Miranda warning before questioning you in custody, anything you say may be excluded from evidence. This protects your right against self-incrimination. It's important to understand that if you are only being questioned while free to leave, this is not custodial interrogation, so Miranda warnings are not required. Always be aware of your situation and know your rights. If you feel you are being held or pressured, calmly ask if you are free to leave. If not, you should request your Miranda rights and an attorney before answering any questions. Why invoke your rights? Invoking your Miranda rights is essential to protect yourself during a criminal investigation. Attorney Frank C. Walker advises that when you clearly state you wish to remain silent and want an attorney, the police must stop questioning you immediately. This protects you from accidentally saying something that could be misunderstood or used against you in court. Police officers are trained to ask questions in ways that can confuse or trick people, so using your rights helps prevent self-incrimination. Many people feel pressured to talk to the police, thinking it will help their case. However, the book warns that talking without a lawyer present often leads to trouble. Staying silent until your attorney is with you gives you the best chance for a fair defense. Remember, invoking your rights is not admitting guilt. It is a smart and legal way to protect yourself and make sure you do not say anything that could hurt your case. If you ever face police questioning, calmly and clearly say you want to remain silent and want a lawyer. This is your right, and it can make all the difference. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and stay updated with important legal tips. What would you do if the police questioned you without reading your Miranda rights? Don't miss our next video. How is bail set and when are you eligible for release?